We all know that sex sells. It's what gets the views. What mainly gets all the male viewers. But when it comes to women in the media, it's a completely different story. When it comes to journalists and female athletes, the media portrays them in a way that does not showcase their full potential. Female athletes want to be seen as being an actual athlete instead of a sex symbol. But in the media, they worry about appearance rather than overall accomplishment and attributes. What we don't realize is that these views on our women really take a toll on their lives. In our society today, women are always portrayed as just a sex symbol and nothing more. This is a serious issue that needs to be corrected. As a woman, you grow up watching television and seeing how dressy the women are, and you try to dress up like them and be just like the people on the TV. What we don't notice is that the producers in the media edit and crop certain things out to make these women more appealing to the eye. They nitpick with these photos, especially in magazines, to make the females more sexual. This causes many problems in young teens in our times now because they try so hard to be the thin models in the magazines, which makes them unsatisfied with their own bodies, and this causes them to take rash measures.
There's a pretty well-established consensus that representations of women and girls in the media are disproportionately young, white, heterosexual, and underweight, which is interesting. There was a study done by Stacy Smith at USC in 2011, which found that actually younger girls being represented in media texts like television and things, they were more likely to be wearing provocative clothing.
NCAA states that eating disorders are more present in female athletes rather than males. They are most likely to develop this disorder under social or cultural pressures. They also said that this disorder often occurs in athletes that participate in judged sports rather than refereed sports. So this occurs mainly in athletes that partake in sports like volleyball, diving, and gymnastics. In these sports, women are more worried about their bodies and dieting, and this influences their eating habits.
I really just became fascinated by that. I was like, how is it that the stories that we tell position men as subjects and women as objects so often? And the only time you really see women is when they appear as the object of desire for the men, or they halt the narrative progression for a second, and they're just there to kind of like present themselves as a body. I just think that pretty centrally, athleticism is a show of strength, force even, ability, things that have typically been valorized and valued in men. And so sexualization is a strategy, we could say, for women who don't want to be seen as threats. And for a culture that doesn't want to see women as threats. They want to see women as accessible sex objects, because that's what we have, historically kind of been.
So now you see it. This has been an ongoing issue for a very long time. And the question is, what are we going to do to stop this? When are we going to finally stop judging women off of how they look and what they wear instead of what they do and what they accomplish? When are we finally going to give females the recognition that they deserve?